Hello, everybody. It's Mrs. Pound. We are studying Chapter 14 on solutions. Today, we're going to talk about Section 14.4 on suspensions and colloids. Now, this is the last section in this chapter, so be preparing for your test. Our objectives for today are to describe colloids using the terms dispersing medium and dispersed phase, compare solutions, suspensions, and colloids, and give examples of common colloids. So a suspension is a heterogeneous mixture with particles greater than 1 micrometer that eventually settle out of a mixture. And I have a muddy river here because a muddy river is a suspension. There are particles that are mixed up in that water right now that if they were just left in quieter water would settle out to the bottom. A colloid is a heterogeneous mixture that contains intermediate-sized particles dispersed in a medium. So these are particle sizes between that of a solution and that of a suspension. They are actually between 1 nanometer and 1 micrometer in size. Now, colloids need special terms for the different parts of the mixture because they're not a solution. So the dispersed phase is the particles, and the dispersed medium is the medium, so the larger amount. Some types of colloids that are common. First, an aerosol. This is where the dispersing medium is a gas and the dispersed phase is a liquid or a gas. So some examples are fog. The air is the dispersing medium. The water in the air, water particles are the dispersed phase. The same thing with clouds because fog is just low clouds. Smoke, air is the medium. The phase are the particles in the smoke. And the same thing with dust in the air. The medium is air, the dust particles are the phase. Foam is another type of colloid. This is where the dispersing medium is a liquid and the dispersed phase is a gas. So something like shaving cream, a liquid with gas put into it, whipped cream. When you whip the cream, you whip it to whip air into it to make up that colloid. An emulsion is where the dispersing medium is a liquid and the dispersed phase is also a liquid. This is mayonnaise and hand cream. Thinking of mayonnaise, mayonnaise is egg and oil that are whipped together, and so that's why the two phases are liquid. Hand cream are liquids that are whipped together. A sol is the dispersing medium is a liquid, the dispersed phase is a solid. So blood has a liquid part to it, but the solids are the cells in the blood. And also paint. Paint is the medium is the liquid. The particles are pigments. They're a lot of times ground up minerals that are put into the paint and are solid. A solid foam. Here, the dispersing medium is a solid and the dispersed phase is a gas. Examples are marshmallows, which are solids that have that gas in them, and plastic foam. A gel, the dispersing medium is a solid, the dispersed phase is a liquid, gelatin and jelly. That's what makes it jiggly. It's kind of solid-like and yet liquid because it has that liquid phase in it. Finally, the last type of colloid is a solid sol. This is where the dispersing medium is a solid and the dispersed phase is a solid. An example is cranberry glass. Here you have glass, which is the solid, and dispersed in it are tiny particles of metal. And finally, let's talk about the Tyndall effect. This is the scattering of light that can be used to distinguish colloids from solutions. So the way you would tell if something is a colloid is generally, if we think back to most of the things we just talked about, they have a white color. That is because they scatter light. So things like mayonnaise, shaving cream, unless you add dye to it, okay? Clouds, fog have a white color. And If you don't see that white color, another thing that can tell you that it is a colloid is if you see back here, you see the rays of light coming through. If you shine a light through a colloid, you will see the rays going through. In a solution, you will not see rays like that. The light will just go through with no evidence that it's really going through. You cannot see the path through the substance itself like you can through a colloid of the light. So our objectives were to describe colloids using the terms dispersing medium and dispersed phase, compare solutions, suspensions, and colloids, and give examples of common colloids. So this is it. You have everything you need to know for the test, so start preparing for that test.